Welcome back to Pump Pros and Cons, and I am finally ready to dive into Medela's latest. Okay, so if you have followed my page, you have seen that I have done a review on the Medela Pump In Style Max Flow. This was their update, not upgrade, to the old Medela Pump In Style Advanced. That was that bag pump. It was in the black bag. It was a great pump. It was as close to the Symphony, which is the hospital version, the giant hospital pump that you will find often in the US. Really good pump. And that is a pump that was a workhorse for so many moms for so long. You can still find them every now and then, out in the marketplace or whatnot, but Medela's not making them anymore, which is just really sad. It was an open system pump. They've moved to all closed systems, and here you go. We have these updates. So if you saw my video on that, you know that I detest this pump, and I really, really detest the gaslighting that Medela did on moms when all of the problems were coming to light, especially when lactation professionals were bringing the problems to light and they were still saying, no, it's you, it's not us. You're not setting it up correctly. You're not using the power source correctly, whatever it is. That was not cool. Now, clearly they heard it and they decided we're going to make some updates. Enter the Pump In Style Pro. Now, I have been sitting on this pump and using this pump for months now, because when a company advertises to the extent that Medela has been advertising about the updates and upgrades to their pump, and then goes as far as to suggest that it is a take-home Symphony, I'm going to put it through its paces. Now, personally, I am not a massive fan of the Symphony. I find it to be overrated, and that is because we have so many amazing primary pumps now on the market that moms respond really well to, whether that be Spectra, whether that be the Unimom Opera. We have great options. But it is a good pump. It is a solid pump. It works for many. Most people don't end up buying it. They'll rent it for a period of time. They'll use it if their baby is in the NICU, in the hospital, whatnot. But it is a great pump. It has programming that is vastly different than what this was, the original version. So I was very excited to get my hands on this one and really put it through its paces to see if, one, those claims held up to what Medela is saying, that this is most like the Symphony. And then I also wanted to see, okay, does it fix some of the problems that we had with this one? Does it fix the kind of jackhammer harsh pump feel? Does it fix the not knowing what setting you're on because there are 0 indicator lights? Does it fix the fact that the only way to make this a portable option, even though it's advertised as portable, is to attach an external battery pack, which takes away power from the motor, and it doesn't last that long? So does it fix these things, right? Because that's what we needed. And most importantly, does it move milk better? Because this pump did not. No. For the vast majority of moms, the answer is no. And let me explain a little bit more why. This pump moves milk for me. I have done some videos showing that it moves milk for me. I am an oversupply mom. I am a mom who, if you breathe on my nipple, it will trigger a letdown and milk will freely flow. There are lots of moms like me out there. And often these are the moms that you see influencing you to buy such wearable pump or this or that because look at all the milk I got. We have oversupplies. We have fast letdowns. Our body lives to throw milk out of our breasts. It's what it does, okay? So for moms like that, this pump will probably continue to work just as fine as this pump did. This pump worked fine for me. It moved milk. But, and this is the part I hate, because I can see some of the improvements because of my own personal situation. But when I put this pump with a mom who has a difficult time moving milk, a mom that has a typical supply, a mom that is unbelievably sensitive to the feel of a pump, it doesn't work any better. And it absolutely is not a mini Symphony. The programming on this pump does not offer the fast cycles that the Symphony does. The programming on this pump does not allow for over 200 mmHgs of suction. This pump should not claim to be a primary pump, just like this pump could not claim to be a primary pump. This pump has given us indicator lights. That's great. Great improvement. Should have done it from the first place. This pump has given us a rechargeable battery if you happen to have that version, because there are 4 different versions of this pump on the market, and depending on if you are using Medicaid, you're using your insurance, or if you are going to cash pay, you're going to have different options for all of them. You're going to have options for just flanges, you're going to have options for flanges and cups or just cups. Let's just make it even more confusing, because that also bothers me, but DMEs have to make money and Medela has to make money. So, and I feel like it's a bit of bait and switch, because yes, I did give feedback to Medela that this pump did work better than this one for me. It moved milk better for me. But as I put it through the paces with other moms, I have to go back and say that it's basically this pump with a couple indicator lights. And honestly, actually, less options, less variability in the options. I don't know how that happened, because that should never happen. That should never happen when you update a pump and you claim that it's working better and it's more like XYZ, the Symphony. You shouldn't get less, but somehow it does. Like it still gives you a very narrow options of cycle to vacuum settings. It still gives you less output from an mmHg perspective, but we got lights and we got a rechargeable battery. So I say all this to tell you that if you watch the first video, the pros and cons are basically the same outside of we get indicator lights and we get a rechargeable battery. This pump will likely work fine for a mom that is not sensitive, that doesn't mind the feeling of this suction pattern, that moves milk very easily and is not having to pump very often. If that is you and you just love Medela, fine. But if that is not, if you are a mom that is returning to work, if you are a mom that likes soft suction, if you are a mom that wants a more enjoyable pumping experience and a mom that requires fast cycle options or more customization and options to your pump, this is not going to be the pump for you. So I know that was not so much pros and cons, but considering we basically have the exact same pump between these two, I didn't feel it was necessary. I do, however, feel it was necessary to share how disappointed that makes me, because Medela has been a mainstay in pump manufacturers for a very long time. And the Pump and Style Pro to me screams more of a way to protect profits, protect business, help them and the DMEs make more money. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I got.